You know that feeling when you scroll through a dozen espresso machines, each promising K-level drinks, only to end up with a countertop that looks sleek but spits out watery, flavorless coffee? I've been there, buying a smart machine based on glossy photos, then spending a week wrestling with settings that never quite match the taste I'm after. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. That's why I'm breaking down the DeLonghi Dinamica Plus, so you can decide if it's the shortcut to barista quality or just another pretty-looking gadget. First off, the Dinamica Plus is built around the idea of one-touch convenience. The 3.5-inch TFT screen lets you pick from 24 preset drinks or customize your own, and the machine remembers up to 4 user profiles. On paper, that sounds perfect for a household where mom wants a macchiato, dad prefers a straight espresso, and the kids, well, they'll probably stick to hot chocolate. In practice, the profile system works well once you've spent a few minutes setting each drink's strength, temperature, and milk texture. The machine stores those preferences, so the next morning you can simply press Profile 1 and get exactly what you saved, no extra fiddling. The grinder is where the Dinamica Plus starts to separate itself from cheaper alternatives. It uses a Conical Burr with 13 grind settings, from fine espresso to coarse drip. I tried brewing a single-shot espresso with a medium-fine setting, and the result was a cremeric cup that held up against a local CAF's espresso for a few seconds. The real test came when I switched to a darker roast and cranked the grind finer. The machine adjusted the dose automatically, delivering a richer body without the usual over-extraction bitterness. If you value freshly ground beans and don't want to buy a separate grinder, this integration is a genuine time-saver. Milk frothing is where the latte crema hot system gets its name. The automatic wand offers 3 modes: silky latte, dense cappuccino, and a lighter froth for flat whites. I ran the wand with whole milk, oat milk, and even a soy alternative. Whole milk produced a dense, glossy foam that held its shape for latte art attempts. Though I'm no barista, the texture was impressive. Oat milk, which many people choose for its flavor, still frothed well, but the foam was slightly thinner, a trade-off you'll see with any plant-based milk. The biggest practical strength here is consistency. Once you pick a mode, the machine reproduces that texture every time, which is rare for home units that rely on manual steaming. Now, no machine is perfect, and the Dinamica Plus has a few hidden trade-offs. First, the water tank holds just 1.8 liters. That's fine if you're making 1 or 2 drinks a day, but a family that drinks multiple lattes in the morning will find themselves refilling the tank more often than they'd like. The tank sits on the side of the unit, and while it slides out, you have to be careful not to spill water onto the electronic panel. Second, the machine's size, about 13 inches wide, means it claims countertop space, but it's still a fairly bulky presence. If you have a small kitchen, you'll need to allocate a dedicated spot. Finally, the price point sits in the higher mid-range, and the 3.9-star average rating suggests that while many owners love the convenience, a noticeable chunk of users report occasional grindover delays when the machine runs its self-clean cycle mid-brew. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to be aware of if you expect every cup to be instantaneous. So, who should really consider the Dinamica Plus? If you're a coffee enthusiast who wants a variety of drinks at the push of a button, and you appreciate the convenience of built-in grinding and automatic milk frothing, this machine is a solid match. It shines for households with multiple coffee preferences because the 4-profile system means each person can set their ideal brew once and forget about it. It also appeals to people who don't want to master a traditional espresso machine's pressure and tamping nuances but still crave a decent espresso shot and cappuccino foam. Conversely, if you're a purist who enjoys tweaking grind size, brew pressure, and water temperature minute, you might feel limited by the preset menu and the machine's reliance on its internal algorithms. Likewise, if you brew a high volume of drinks daily, the modest water tank and occasional brew pause during cleaning could become frustrating. And if you're on a tight budget, there are simpler super-automatic models that skip the high-resolution touch screen and still deliver respectable coffee, though they lack the same level of personalization. From a value perspective, the Dinamica Plus justifies its price by bundling 3 major components: grinder, espresso maker, and milk system into a single unit that communicates with you via an intuitive screen. The real money saving comes from not having to purchase a separate grinder or an electric milk frother. If you factor in the cost of those accessories, you're looking at $300 $400 extra, so the all-in-one approach can be economical in the long run.